Action! Activate!
Hey, what's up? I am Gazbot. This is Action Activate. And if I'm Gazbot and this is Action Activate, then with me as always...
It is I. It is the big dog, also known as the critic dog today, along with I Told You So Bot, because we are doing a part 2 that we didn't think we were going to do of the Playmates Power Rangers toy reveals today.
Yes. Here they are. Previously, we saw the silhouettes. They look exactly like the silhouettes.
But now we know that they are Morphin figures.
We kind of knew that, didn't we? By the boxy bodies.
I mean, the previous ones that Hasbro released weren't auto flippers, and they had boxy bodies as well.
Wait, okay. Didn't Hasbro release a... There was a re-release / retool of the flip heads not too long ago. But then there were other ones as well. But why are we getting flip heads again?
So not only why are we getting flip heads, why are we getting flip heads that don't look good?
I mean, I think what they're going for, because I think what they're going for is Masters of the Universe Origins, which the idea is the adults, this looks exactly like the toy you remember when you were a kid, as much as possible, but it's got better articulation and stuff. And I guess that's what they're going with this, because Hasbro had kind of re-released them where they were pretty much the same. I think they did a couple different head sculpts that you didn't have, but they were more or less the same. This is like a reimagining where it's the flip heads, but they're better articulated and have better weapons and stuff, but they're still like kids' toys, which is a weird thing to copy. Playmates previously, and maybe still, has done that with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it's weird that they're following Mattel's lead, because while Mattel's been pumping out the Masters of the Universe, it's constantly on clearance. My understanding is that they're just like fighting to not drown with that property. As much as I like it, it's not doing amazing. And so it's weird to be like, let's copy what they're doing. Like,
I'm trying not to be negative about all this stuff.
Good luck.
Yeah, so these don't look good. The weapons don't make them look any better.
No. And the weapons aren't in this picture, but we've seen them.
Especially the Dragon Dagger. It looks goofy. And then they also revealed Zords. So these don't look terrible. They don't look great. We kind of just got something like this.
Yeah. We've had this Megazord so many times, including kind of kid-friendly versions. That's the thing, is if there had been no Power Rangers for a long time, be like, wow, this is kind of cool. But we've had re-releases of original ones. We've had, you know, sort of slightly retooled ones of these styles. We've had adult collectibles. Like, we've had so many versions. Like I said before, who are these for? They're not for kids.
So here's the thing I'm curious on. So they made it seem like this was $18 for the full Megazord.
It's a good price.
I'm either reading it wrong, or each of these are $18. If each of these are $18,
that would be nuts.
These are going to get clearanced at Ross. I'm calling it right now.
If each of these, there's no way you're going to sell that pterodactyl for $18. Maybe as a 2-pack. Maybe as a 2-pack.
I don't know, but
even then it would be like, if, let's say they had 2-packs and the Tyrannosaurus was its own, that would still, what's 18? It's $54 for this.
So here's the other thing: if all 5 together are $18, how big is it?
7 inches? I don't know. 8
No,
inches.
I think it's shorter than that. I think it's like 5 inches.
Well, I'm looking at what is it, Toku Nation. You can find this anywhere, but I'm looking at Toku Nation. Okay, Automorphin figures, combinable dinos. Okay. 2 modes, tank mode and fighting mode. So it does transform into both modes. It's saying $17.99. As the mighty come together, the incredible combination. It does make it seem, collect each of the 5 Power Ranger Dinozords and combine them.
Oh, if each are $18. Wow, I was trying to give them credit that it was 18 for all 5.
I can't imagine each. I'm thinking it's got to be 2-packs, which I still don't think is great. But like, okay, I'm gonna do math not in my head. I'm gonna use a calculator over here.
It'd be $36 for 2 2-packs.
Right. Yeah, but no, but it's gonna have to be 3, and that's why I was saying 54. Yeah, I was right.
Why would it be 2? Why would it be 3 2-packs?
Because there's only 5. There's 5. There's not 6. There's not 4. So I think they would go like 1 2, 1 2, and then the Tyrannosaurus would be its own. Maybe it would come with like the sword or something. I could see them doing that. But if they're literally saying that each one, then it would be $90. There's no way that's a $90 figure.
You're saying if it's each, if it's a 2-pack, it's
if it's a 2-pack, I think there'll be 3 and it'll be 54. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I think that's the most likely scenario.
Again, We didn't get this that long ago, and
No.
it's still readily available.
And they're saying they're having a Power Morpher not pictured $18.
That I'm intrigued by.
I think that's going to be a lot like the original toy version because we've had a lot of better versions.
Here's the whole thing. They announced 4 things and price points for all 4. They showed us the 2 least exciting things that we've already gotten out of the 4 things. I think that was a fumble.
I agree. The Power Morpher, it's saying it comes with all 5 of the power coins, 40 sounds and phrases, $17. So how is one of these plastic no frill Zords going to be $17 or $18? That makes no sense.
Yeah. So however they pack it, I'm most intrigued by the role play items because that was the one thing Hasbro didn't really do. So them leaning into that, especially
they did do
Mighty
Morpher,
Morphin.
but it was an adult collectible Morpher.
But that's what I'm saying. This is clearly only kid stuff.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of the turmoil online is people saying, why are you guys getting all grumpy about kid stuff? At least Power Rangers is alive. Here's why I'm grumpy about that.
Yeah. We got a comment like that on our last video, actually.
Yeah. Here's why I'm grumpy about it. I'd honestly rather there be no Power Ranger stuff and wait for something cool than them doing this and then just diminishing the brand because everybody just looks and it's like, cool, more stuff I don't want.
Yeah, I agree. It's diluting it. And it is kid stuff. And I am totally fine with kids' toys. I understand we want kids to play with toys. We want things to continue, blah, blah, blah. But I think keeping the high-end adult collectibles like 3-0 stuff going, for Super 7 if it's still happening, the comic books, maybe make another video game for adults and keeping the brand somewhat alive. I'm all for that. And I'm for making toys for kids. These are not those toys. No kid wants these. These are toys that adults buy for their kids. And I feel like most of the adults that were going to do that already did that. And everybody's got the Mighty Morphin a million times. There are completionists that are going to get it or people that buy it just because it's in the store. But like, I agree with Big Dog. I think it's the idea of like, isn't it better than nothing is not always true. I don't think it's better than nothing. I think
the Morpher and the Blade Blaster could be awesome, and we both might get them for our kids.
Oh, that's true. Okay, maybe, yeah.
But these other 4 things, or the flip it heads and the Megazord, unless it's like pennies, I don't think we're gonna get it. I could see both of us being like in a year or less at Ross going, "Hey, do you want the whole Megazord for $10? I found one."
I could see saying that and me saying, no, thank you. I already have a Megazord.
And I'd get it for my kid.
For your kid, sure. My kid, well, your kid's younger than mine. It's weird. Your kid's younger than mine, so everything is fine for her. My kid is just old enough where she does know about Power Rangers, but I don't think she would like care. Like any Zord is fine. Any Power Ranger, like she's not into it. She's into it just because it's a toy. So anyone I got her would be fine.
Yeah. Morpher I could easily see getting though. Even at potentially retail, the Blade Blaster could be interesting. I'm curious to see what that looks like. But that's the whole thing. The 2 things we're most interested in, we just heard about and are.
Yeah.
Hey, can you move these other 2 ugly things out of the way for us?
My hope for the Megazord is that at the very least, like, especially if it's for kids, they should do the what they call the Zord combiner system that they were doing.
Oh yeah, I forget the exact term, but yeah.
But like basically do a Hero Mashers. And start putting out other Megazords. Here's the move. Put out Megazords for older seasons, Megazords we haven't seen in a while, maybe Megazords like for Cosmic Fury that we never saw in America. But do them in this kiddie style. Because the kids getting them, there's no media, there's no Power Rangers TV show. They're not gonna be like, oh, what is this? It's all just random robots to them. And then they could mix and mash and smash them up, and that could be fun. And they might get some adult collectors that are going, you know what? I don't have an SPD Zord. I'll get that, And I think that could be the saving grace of that line if they just throw a bunch of other Megazords in there that you could mash up.
In terms of the I told you so stuff, this is what we see for the kids stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now they claim that they're going to do adult collector stuff. I am not confident.
Say that specifically?
I am fairly confident, but I'm not going to say definitively 110%.
Okay.
But assuming that's the case, I am not confident in that line.
I would think, excuse me, it's getting a little late. I would think if they're going to do adult collectibles, it's just going to be more Mighty Morphin. And it's tough because I understand why, but at some point, everyone's going to have it. I know that sounds weird, but like new people entering the hobby, are they looking for Mighty Morphin? I don't think so.
I think if they did something that was like a mix between Lightning Collection and Super 7 Ultimates, Maybe they get people for Mighty Morphin. Mighty Morphin always sells. Here's the whole thing, though.
Mhm.
If they do Mighty Morphin and it is worse quality than both those lines I just said,
Yeah.
no one's going to care.
Yeah, because a lot of those lines are still available.
Yeah.
Not just on eBay and stuff, but like you can find some of them in stores still.
You could get clearance of some of the Super 7.
And this goes back to letting there be nothing on the shelf for a while. Let it go away for a while.
Or just going a completely different route where it's like, oh, cool. Like I remember a while ago we had talked about technically McFarlane can do page punchers of Power Rangers. They haven't. I'm not blaming them at this point, but they technically could do it. And we're like, hey, that's interesting. It's going to be different. I'm curious what that looks like. And there's nothing, so it's whatever. But this is like, hey, we're going to do Mighty Morphin. Well, we already have a million things, so the bar's kind of high. Oh, you made it not great. Got it.
Yeah. I think similar, again, not that I personally want this, but if they have more waves of figures and do like comic book stuff where it's still Jason, but now he's the Omega Ranger or whatever, like, and even if they're in that form factor, which is not necessarily what collectors would want, kids, again, there's no real media. So to them,
I get it.
That's what I'm saying. People that have no version now have an option, and kids, it's sort of both silly to have these toys out when there's no media backing it up, but also freeing. It's like, just do whatever. It doesn't matter. They can make up Rangers. They could do, like, if they made a set of like Black Rangers, like Neon Tron stuff, like I might get those because they look cool. Like they could do anything they want. Like it doesn't matter because the kids that are going to be buying them are not I mean, yes, there are maybe some kids whose parents are like, watch this show from the 90s on Netflix, but for the most part, the kids aren't. They don't care.
I think you and I, ever since the announcement was made that Cosmic Fury was kind of the end of Power Rangers as we knew it, I was holding on to hope for certain things more than you, but now we're both just at the yep, I guess there's no Power Rangers at all.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. The animated series idea was floated a million times and it makes the most sense. Maybe not like what I want, but it makes sense.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. We'll see about the other things that they finally reveal when we get more details on packaging or whatever.
Weekend, right?
I think it was this last weekend, but I could be wrong. Maybe this is before. We didn't do that much looking other than at the photos and say good, bad, in betweens. But as we find out more, we'll let you know our thoughts at some point in another. But until that time,
well, I guess it could be. Until that time, I've been Gazbot.
I am still the big dog, and you get no end credits because here's the wow.